Hi, everybody. I had promised you all a joint mobility class, a warm-up class, and I'm sending it out with the world. This is just a little warm-up that I will do 3 or 4 times a week. I found as I get older that I have gotten very stiff. I went through a few years in my early to mid 60s where I really didn't work out because I was in too much um, pain with arthritis. And I was rather shocked as I started to heal and get to the other side of my issues, how much I had stiffened up and become tight. And it's been an ongoing journey for me to unwind and open up and bring myself, discover a new way to be in my body. I'm becoming very aware that, especially as we get older and this world gets more and more toxic with things like Wi-Fi and environmental toxins, our body hardens. And if we don't actively get involved with really counteracting it, damage control, we will go under. So anyway, this is my routine. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to only demonstrate short holds. Things that you find are challenging to you, please take more time. The more uncomfortable and the more difficult the pose is, the more you need it, and it's going to take time to unwind and to really restore elasticity. Muscles do not just stretch, they actually build fibers and become longer if you use them. If you don't use them, they atrophy. And the body says, not necessary, let's keep shrinking. So we don't want to shrink, we want to grow. So here we go. Let me make sure. So you want to stand feet hip width apart or together. This is not rocket science. You're going to stretch up, lock the elbows, lift the shoulders up, rotate to one side, rotate to the other side, come back, lengthen and lift, bring the hands down, check which index fingers on top, and repeat, locking. You can play with the shoulders down, the shoulders up, lock the elbows, swivel to one side, swivel to the other side, back to the center, locking and extending, reaching the rib cage up, coming down, one hand across the body. Think of, as you do this, you're stretching your shoulder blade away from the spine. You're also contracting in the front so that you're increasing the range of movement. I will often bend over, bend the arm, yoga eagle pose. Same thing on the other side, stretching the arm across. If you can't be in a close lever, you can be in a long lever, bending over, eagle pose, extending the elbows up and down. You're really searching out, where do I feel tight? What's stiff? What's stuck? Where's the stagnation starting to build up in my body? Bringing the hands down. One hand above, holding the elbow, lifting up the armpit, pulling it behind your head again, bending sideways. Other side, lifting the armpit up, bending over. Coming back now, one hand behind. So sometimes, some of you can clasp very nicely. I can clasp on one side. If you can't clasp, you take a strap. So you have one hand, so I'm stretching my tricep on this side and the front of my bicep on the other side. Other side, this is my stiffer side. I have to take longer, a lot more tightness, so I take more time here. The sides that are tight, I spend more time there, reminding my body what's it like to let those muscles elongate. And moving over, coming down, rolling the shoulders, stretching the hand out. Same with the other hand. Stretching the wrists the opposite direction, letting the arms come forward. Unusual stretch for a lot of you. Pulling the elbow forward. So internal rotation. So you're widening your back. Other side, internal rotation. Now, clasping the hands behind the back. Bending over. Stretching the arms out. Stretching the back out. Shifting the clasp the other way. Coming up now. So the normal clasp is with the hands like this. Now turn the hands inside out. And again, so it's going to be internal rotation. It's maybe a lot stiffer to do. Different aspect of the fibers of the arms that are being stretched. Other side, I've changed the clasp, again going inside out and bending over. Coming up. Now, quad stretch. So a few things. A lot of times people will let their low back go. That's totally valid. If you want to get more into your hip flexor, you can get it tighter. If you can get with both hands behind and working into this stretch, the quads get very, very tight. Oh, that's good. And other side, come over here. Stretching. Very nice. I will often get one leg up on a counter and bend over the leg, working into all sorts of different angles. Some of you can slide up and go right into a split, but getting the legs spread and open. Other side. The things that you can do while you're making coffee for yourself in the morning. And now hamstring stretch if you want to flex and bend over. So if this is really easy for you, you want to play attention with your, play with your pelvis. Because if you stick your bottom out, you may be surprised, even if you're very flexible, that you get a stretch. You want to find all those different fibers and areas. Then coming into a lunge. Then coming into stretching your back leg. Then going into the front splits. Coming back and coming sideways. And coming into pigeon pose. So a lot of times people do pigeon with the foot in here. And you can have all sorts of fabulous angles. The more open the position, you may find that you get into quite different, more challenging places that you may be tight. And other side, hamstring stretch. Remember, this is your own time, just to stimulate you with ideas. Quad stretch. Pulling the foot in. Stretching out into a split. Once upon a time, I used to fly out in here very easily. But maybe in 6 months, I'll be back down there. Definitely been stretching out and releasing now that I'm adding it into my repertoire again, pigeon pose. And coming sideways. Then forward bends. One leg bent. Now, when you get into the bent leg, you want to lengthen the side of the bent leg, lifting up and then stretching over. And fun addition, crossover arms. Other side. Side can be quite different than the other. Crossover arms. Stretching your legs out again. Bending one foot up, now half lotus. Stretching the knee out. Bending the other foot up. For those of you who want to, you can bring the foot up into a full lotus. Get deeper into the joints all around here. And none of these poses are natural if you live in a chair and drive in a car and do the modern living thing. So they are wonderful for the joints. They open up your energy. They release muscle mass. They are something that you lose if you don't use. So I'm not going to do lotus yet. Not today. Stretch the legs out. Cat cow. Arching and curving the spine. And stretching out the stomach, going into the equivalent of cobra, coming up and arching the back, letting the stomach release. Again, this is an area that I got much stiffer over the years. So I'm just working with the body I have now, which is all that we can do. And it actually feels so wonderful to gradually have your body remember that it can be loose. And child's pose. So this is by far just a short version of all the different variations that can be done. I promised some of you that I would share this information with you. If you like it, take notes so you don't have to watch me rushing through it. I usually take a bit more time doing it, but not always. I'll often go and do other kinds of workouts or other practices, or I just want to get things open and not kind of override parts of my body. So I do this. This is a very speedy form of stretching out the joints, but it does make a difference. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Gosh.